decision we made. Everything we did was to get back here.
Tonight, we look at the season so far, the players that made it happen, and the fans cheering them on.
I just love to watch them play.
Duke's Road to Glory begins now. Welcome to San Antonio, Texas, outside the Alamo Dome. John Johnson alongside Chanel Porter, where the journey for Duke is finally here. They're back in the Final Four, Chanel, with the chance to bring home that sixth national title.
Well, John, it's been a magical quest so far for this Blue Devils team, but we are far from over as this Blue Devils team hopes to win their sixth national title here in Texas. Now, just a few hours ago, we got our first real look at Duke since arriving in the Lone Star State. The Blue Devils took part in an open practice. They hit the floor last of the remaining teams in this year's tournament. A couple things we noticed so far. AP Player of the Year Cooper Flagg, he looks locked in ahead of this one of the biggest games of his career coming up. Also a thing to note, Malik Brown out there, he's appearing to be 100% or pretty close to it leading into this Final Four matchup.
And we take a look at these Blue Devils back on the court a little more than 25 hours. Not that we're anxiously awaiting for tip-off here for the Final Four or anything, but we're getting closer. Now, Duke is set to play the University of Houston inside the Alamo Dome Saturday night at around 8:49 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, this will be the second game of the night, meaning tip time is probably going to slide, so we're thinking about 9 o'clock will probably be the case for this Duke basketball team. Now, Chanel, obviously there's still more to talk about this basketball team, more to talk about what's coming in store for this Duke team.
Yeah, 4 teams that are number 1 seeds making it to the Final Four. That doesn't happen very often. So seeing Duke, Houston, Auburn, and Florida all make it here to San Antonio is just a special moment in itself.
Yeah, it is, and it's one of those things, and when you talk about this Duke basketball team, it took them a while to get to this point. They weren't a number 1 seed at the beginning of the season. There were a couple tough losses, Kentucky, Kansas being one, but we're going to bring you inside to how that journey happened for Duke and how they got to this point. And what a run it's been for Duke this basketball season. They're just the 6th team in program history to reach the 35 win total by this time next week. They're hoping that number reaches 37 with the program's 6th national title. But the run to San Antonio didn't always seem as straightforward as it does now. Now, losses in November to Kentucky and Kansas had the Blue Devils searching for a response. And a response they would have. Duke would run off a win streak of 16 in a row, including a victory over fellow Final Four competitor in Auburn. Now, during the Blue Devils' win streak, they averaged a margin of victory of over 20 points per game. 12 of those wins coming in ACC play. It was a run that would lead the Blue Devils to their 21st regular season championship and their first since 2022, which also happens to be the last time Duke made it to the Final Four. Now, looking for a clean sweep of the ACC, Duke went a perfect 3-for-3 in Charlotte, securing the program's 23rd ACC tournament title.
We just learn more about who we are as a group. We know a lot about ourselves. We know we're a very good team. We're together, we're connected, but it feels really, really good when we see that at a deeper level.
I think just how resilient we are, like I've said all year, and I mean, it just shows how together we are. We always hang out off the court and do stuff together, so I'm just proud of everyone.
When you're a kid, dreaming about them, you don't kind of realize everything that goes into being in these moments and being in these situations. So it's definitely a little bit different than what you imagine, but at the end of the day, it's playing basketball on one of the biggest stages, playing with my brothers that I've had great connections with all year long. It's been an incredible year.
I mean, as soon as we all got here, I feel like it's just incredible. I mean, we all thought about this since day one, and just obviously for it to be happening, it's just unbelievable. But I feel like we got way more work to do. We're not done yet, so we're just going to keep going from there.
And obviously, we've heard about this run for Duke, and now they got a chance to really build upon it moving forward.
It's such a big season for them. Like we mentioned before, they didn't come into this with high expectations, with a lot of young talent. You truly never know, but let's look a little bit deeper into what this season looked like. I was with Duke when they opened up the round of 64 against Mount St. Mary's. The Blue Devils had home court advantage of sorts, playing their first 2 games inside Raleigh in the Lenovo Center. This one wasn't very close, with Duke taking down the 16 seed 93-49. Just 2 days later, the team was back on the court to play 9 seed Baylor in the second round. Again, this one not very close. Duke ultimately beating the Bears by 23 points. This was a great showing for the Blue Devils, who shot nearly 65% from the field, made 54% of threes, and hit close to 83% from the free throw line.
Yeah, Chanel, in the second weekend of the tournament, Duke faced bigger challenges. In the Sweet 16, the Blue Devils took on 4-seed Arizona, only winning this game by 7 points, though the team hit triple digits before the buzzer sounded. Cooper Flagg had a huge night, playing 36 minutes while contributing 30 points and 3 of 7 of blocks. Now, that brings us to last Saturday when Duke took down 2-seed Alabama in the Elite Eight. The Blue Devils came into play, beating the Crimson Tide by 20. Head coach Jon Scheyer got to cut down the nets thanks to the big-time performances from Con Knippel and Tyrese Proctor. So you run the gamut, and you see why this Blue Devil team is where they are at this point, and you see why this Duke team has now got a chance to bring down the national championship and cut down some more nets.
Yeah, they're the team to beat. You know, I feel like we say that every year, but especially here in the Final Four, everyone's gunning for them, knowing what they have on the court.
Yeah, and then we talk about this Duke team and all the moves that this team has had to make. They've also won some championships in their history before. If you think about it, Duke has won 5 titles already. Those came in 1991 with a win over Kansas, and then in 1982, the Blue Devils took down Michigan. The team had to wait until 2001 for its next title when they beat Arizona. And then in 2010, Duke defeated Butler in a nail-biter. Now, everybody remembers that game.
And the last time the Blue Devils claimed a title was 2015. WXII 12 Sports was actually there as Duke took down Wisconsin 68-63. The Blue Devils got a big-time boost, double digits all around there from a lot of great names. Grayson Allen, all the guys that we know all too well.
Yeah, one of the guys that knows a thing or two about winning championships is the current head coach in Jon Scheyer. And he's been a big reason why this Duke basketball team finds themselves in this position. He had the unenviable task of taking over for Coach K, and he's making his own legacy.
And he was going up for head coaching jobs, you know, before Coach K left. And a lot of people passed him up. And I think now seeing what he's brought to Duke, those teams are probably shaking their heads a little bit at what they passed up.
Jon Scheyer is Duke Blue through and through. From playing under Mike Krzyzewski for 4 years and hoisting up a national championship in 2010 to quickly returning to the Blue Devils bench just 3 years later to assist under Coach K. Heading into the 2021 season, Coach K announced it would be his last, and that entire season was not only about chasing his 6th national title, but making sure the program was in good hands moving forward.
I don't know how many coaches genuinely want to see the program succeed when they leave. And for me, I've always wanted to make him proud. Part of his legacy isn't just the wins. I want his legacy to be how our program continues to, you know, be right there as a top program.
Being the guy who follows the guy is never easy. We've watched teams around the country struggle to replace legendary coaches. But that hasn't been the case at Duke, as Scheyer picked up where Krzyzewski left off, taking Duke to the Elite Eight in his 2nd season, and now to the Final Four in year 3.
This hasn't been about outside noise for me because it just, I don't know if you can ever win. But so my energy has gone into everybody that's in our building, our team, what we can control. And I just couldn't be more proud and thankful for having a group that's believed in me, us.
Scheyer has 89 wins so far at Duke, tying Brad Stevens and Brad Underwood for the most wins in a head coach's first 3 seasons, with potentially 2 more on the horizon. In those 3 seasons, his recruiting classes have ranked in the top 2 each year, with the 2024 class leading the charts, headlined by Cooper Flagg, Kaman Maluach, and Con Knippel.
There's very similar personalities to being so competitive, you know, we'll give anything to win. I think that's partly the reason that I was, you know, gravitated towards Duke in the recruitment process.
The genuine connections he makes. You don't see that everywhere. Like, oh, he kind of like wants to like have you guys over at his house and like wants to hang out with you guys.
And for Jon Scheyer to get his first national title, Duke to get their 6th, the first step is tomorrow and taking on Houston.
And the good news for Duke is they've already beaten Houston. They're 1-0 against them all time. Obviously, they took them down in the Sweet 16 not too long ago. Now, for this basketball team, they also know that this Houston team is quite good. They had the practice court as well. Now, when you compare the stats of Kelvin Sampson's team, it's looking like it might be a good one for Duke. However, they lead the Houston in field goal percentage, the rate of threes made as well, all that success. Also leading at the free throw line are the Blue Devils. And the Cougars do top Duke in some categories, especially on the defensive end, but mainly offensive rebounds, steals per game, and blocks. So, but all sports fans know this, Chanel. It's not about where you are.
Yeah.
You know, 1 seeds can get bumped in this tournament as well, and we've seen it happen in years past.
But not this year, right?
No, it's been
they're
chalk.
all here, and this is just the second time ever. The only other time this has happened, 2008, and guess where that was held?
Right here.
Right here in
How about
San
that?
Antonio.
Now, we also had to get some help from this because there's teams that Duke could face.
Yeah.
So we enlisted some help from some sports directors that are friends of ours to give us a breakdown of some of the teams that can play the Blue Devils.
Hello from Houston, where the Cougars are the story here as they make the short 3-hour trip to San Antonio for the Final Four. Head coach Kelvin Sampson has built this Cougs program into a national powerhouse. This year's squad may be Sampson's deepest. Now, to beat Duke, here are the Cougars' keys. U of H's #1 nationally ranked defense is going to have to show up. Of course, they've got to contain Flag. Cougs need to dictate the pace on Saturday. You've got to slow down the Blue Devils. U of H also needs to hit their three-pointers. They've done it all year. You check those boxes, and the Cougars can win this game on Saturday. From Houston, I'm Randy McElvoy.
If Duke were to play the Auburn Tigers, it wouldn't be until that national championship game set for Monday night. For Auburn, all eyes are on Johni Broome. He got injured in the past game, but came back and returned. How will he look in the Final Four? And also you have to look at the sixth man coming off the bench in Tahad Pettiford, just a freshman, but through the NCAA tournament, he's made 2 20-point impressive performances for Auburn as they advance to the Final Four. It's going to be interesting to see how this team can put together 2 potential wins in the Final Four and potentially the national championship. In Birmingham, Ryan Hennessy.
What's so impressive for this Florida Gators basketball team is moments like this, a stage of this scale, it does nothing to faze these guys. What should have been a confidence breaker, the way they earned their way here in San Francisco, that was a confidence builder for these guys. This group has very impressive depth. Their length is so challenging for other teams, but their ace in the hole is Walter Clayton Jr. And the way they closed out Texas Tech does nothing but emphasize how ready to go this team is in the Final Four. In San Antonio, I'm Darren Stoltzfus.
We got some pretty good friends to break that down for us, Chanel. But now, it won't be easy for this Duke basketball team. But if they're able to win their 6th title, it'll move them to a tie for 3rd most national championships among all college basketball programs.
2 other teams have 6, UConn and that other team across town out in the Triangle, the UNC Tar Heels. Kentucky has 8, and then everyone's still trying to chase up with UCLA. They have 11.
A long way to go to get to there. But just ahead, you're still sticking with us because it's a standout season, and he's one of them, of the top players in all of college basketball. Of course, we're talking Cooper Flagg. More of that straight ahead. Welcome back to Duke's Road to Glory. John Johnson alongside Chanel Porter. Chanel, in recent years, college basketball, and Duke in particular, have seen their fair share of one-and-done players.
Yeah, no stranger to that, and this season will be no different, right? We're looking at 3 guys right now that could easily go in the top 10. Most notable, of course, AP Player of the Year, Cooper Flagg. Now, Flagg's projected to go number 1 in this year's upcoming NBA draft. And looking at his stats, it's really no surprise. He's averaged over 30 minutes per game, putting up almost 19 points a game with 4 assists, blocking a shot per contest, and hitting close to 83% of his free throws. Now, it's no wonder he's up for all of college basketball's biggest awards this season and was named the AP Player of the Year just this afternoon.
Yeah, obviously, Chanel, this was a huge moment for him, right? Yeah. But he was the regional MVP. He's got another award coming in, but he said it's not all about Cooper. He's one to make sure everyone else gets their recognition.
It's a big honor. It's a blessing. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the guys sitting next to me here and the rest of the guys in the locker room. So I got to give all the credit to them, the coaches, for just putting me in a lot of really good situations, spots on the court, giving me the ball in the right spots, and then just allowing me to play free, off the ball, on the ball, whatever it was. Just letting me be me, and just got to give all the credit to my teammates and coaches.
And John, it's easy to forget that Cooper Flagg's just 18 years old, right? He came to Duke reclassified and came in 2024, and he's really hit the ground running.
Yeah, and you know what? He comes from a very small town. The last great Mainer was probably Nick Kaner Medley. Our friend Travis Lee from our sister station in Portland gives a deep dive into Cooper Flagg and his journey to Duke.
In the winter of 2021, word was spreading in basketball circles around the state of a hard-court prodigy, something almost mythical that these parts had never seen before, an 8th grader from Newport by the name of Cooper Flagg.
His real 7th and 8th grade seasons, I think, were the first time that other people in the state of Maine really started to sort of know who he was. And certainly, when we traveled in those gyms, there were some, little tiny kids in middle school that were like, oh my God, what are we getting into here today? I mean, obviously, it's pretty unbelievable to see a kid at that level in middle school be able to do the things that he could do. It was obviously very, very special.
Dawson Townsend, a senior at Nokomis High, was front and center for it all. A lifelong friend of the Flagg brothers, he's often asked about those days, but his relationship runs deeper.
A lot of people know him as a basketball player, but most people who actually know him from Nokomis just know that he's a great kid. He has a contagious personality, and a lot of people, like him. He was great in school, got good grades, good role model for all the kids.
Now Flagg is a role model worldwide. The projected number 1 pick in the draft, starring at Duke, when he should be a senior in high school. But just around the same time word was getting out about his friend's ability, Townsend started to realize it too. Cooper was a little different.
I always knew that he was better than everyone else, but 8th grade year, he was averaging like 15 points a game in dunks alone.
By that point, he was well-traveled in the AAU circuit. And then it wasn't just town teammates, but his club teammates realizing something was going on. Gabe Lash recalls a big tournament in Virginia.
They got us up against 2 years older than us. We're 7th grade, probably maybe a 17U team, Boo Williams team, and all these guys are bigger than us. They bring a couple guys down too. They want to beat us because we had a great run, and so Cooper went off that game. They're triple teaming him, but Cooper still did his thing.
The club team, Maine United, reached a new landmark when it went to the championship of the prestigious Peach Jam tournament. A Maine team versus a national all-star team.
Cooper was kind of leader of that. If you guys were watching, his stats were kind of crazy. So just him always believing in all of us, saying this is our game, believe. So just going through that whole Peach Jam tournament, knowing going into the game that we're going to win.
Experiences like that were beneficial for his AAU teammates who stepped up their game and now are ready to embark on college careers of their own.
He was most of the reason that we got to play in those high-level tournaments, and just practicing and playing against all these great players. Just you had to be at the top of your game every time you stepped in the court.
And Chanel, it's not just about the player. Alongside Cooper is his family.
Yeah, Ralph and Kelly, they definitely know a thing or two about what it's like playing college basketball.
They've been constant figures on the sidelines, there to see their son play those early games, all the way to cutting down the net after an Elite Eight win over Alabama.
Just a surreal, ride. Every time we think we've made it to the top is another, another step higher, and he just keeps raising the bar.
They say his roots are in his home state of Maine.
Oh, he's always gotten down and done the dirty work and done what it needs to be done to win, and that's what Maine's about.
As he wins over a legion of new fans, at the end of the day, he's just making his mom proud.
Everybody asks me how I describe him, and I always say he's kind. He's a very kind individual, and he just happens to be a really good basketball player.
Really good basketball
He's pretty good.
player.
He's okay.
I think they're right. He is
really good.
a really good basketball player. Now, there's an argument that you can make that Duke has 3 really good basketball players.
If any of these 3 were on any other team, they would be the shining star, right? When you look at Kon Knipple and Kaman Malawach and Cooper Flagg, they could easily be the star on any team in the country. Starting with Kon Knipple, a 6'7" guard. He's also the son of 2 former college basketball players. The Wisconsin native was named the ACC Tournament MVP after putting up an average of 21 points per game, almost 6 rebounds and nearly 5 assists. We've seen Knipple on the floor just as much as Flagg, while scoring 4 points less on average. Kon has Cooper beat when it comes to 3-point percentage and free throw percentage.
Now, obviously, we can't forget about Kaman Malawach. We've been talking about him all week. The 7'2" center from South Sudan only started playing basketball just a few seasons ago, joining the NBA Academy in Africa in 2021. That was actually set up by Luol Deng, a former Blue Devil himself. He's had a stellar tournament showing, going 5 for 5 in the opening matchup against Mount St. Mary's, then hitting double figures in the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight, adding a solid 8-point performance on average. He's also matching Flagg when it comes to blocks per game as well.
John, we know when looking at all of this young talent, it only ever works if you have the veterans to lead the way.
You need the straw to stir the drink, right? This is Tyrese Proctor that we're talking about. He could have left 2 years ago, but he said he wanted to come back for another basketball season. He's from Australia, and he's been everything that Jon Scheyer could have hoped for when he's returning as one of the lead players for this team.
And he's told us it's really been him and Jon Scheyer for 3 years straight in this journey to now finally reach the Final Four.
A lot has changed in a year, and when we were in the bathroom last year after we lost, and I told Coach I was coming back, we both had a vision, and I think just the way we executed and doubled down, the way I doubled down in the offseason, the way these guys had my back, I had theirs. I think it shows a lot of resiliency.
Okay. And obviously, Chanel Tyrese Proctor is playing some of his best basketball at the right time for this basketball team.
Hopefully he can keep it up, but we are not done yet here in San Antonio. Bleeding Blue, a grand send-off to Texas, shows Duke fans unwavering support why this moment was destiny for one of them. Welcome back to the road to glory. Now, obviously, San Antonio is known for the Riverwalk, but a Sea of Blue is coming into town this week.
Yeah, we got a chance to see a bunch of fans walking from North Carolina. In fact, we saw some from Winston-Salem earlier as well today. But Duke is so well known everywhere. And in fact, these Blue Devil fans are everywhere. Now, the Alamo Dome likely can't hold all the people cheering on the Blue Devils, and some just couldn't make the trip to Texas, but they still have to support their team. We caught up with a few fans earlier this week when Duke players, coaches, and staff left Durham. One of them made the trip from the Piedmont Triad, bringing his son along since it was spring break, a son that may have been destined to be a Duke fan from birth.
We named him Cameron, specifically after Cameron Indoor Stadium, and so we've been fans for a really long time and super excited about them going to the Final Four.
The day was a family affair for a former Duke student as well, who brought their parents and grandmother to see all the fun.
They're unbelievable, really. Great team, great coach.
And this Cameron Crazy has a good feeling about this team.
We're the hottest team in the tournament right now. There's no reason why we can't win this thing.
There's absolutely a thrill and a buzz with this Duke Blue Devil basketball team as they get ready to take on Houston near 9 o'clock tomorrow. Chanel, obviously we're winding down here. People want to know what we think. Yeah. Obviously fans want to know what we think this game needs to go or how it needs to go for this Blue Devil basketball team. What's your final thoughts on this?
Well, the key that I think is Houston is one of the best defensive, if not the best defense that they've gone up against all season. So for Duke, I think they just need to stay true to who they are offensively. They can't play into Houston's good defense. They tried to do that a little bit against Clemson, and the game got away from them. So if they stay true to who they are offensively, I think they'll be just fine.
And I think I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of what you were talking about. It's how they're going to exploit Houston with their offense as well. But can Duke continue to shoot well is the big time question. Right now, Duke in the NCAA tournament is shooting nearly 55% from the field. That's tops of all teams in the country right now. Now, during the regular season, they shot 45%. The question is going to be this. Do they regress to the median and get closer to the 45%, or can they continue to stay hot like they've done all basketball season here in the NCAA tournament? We'll find that out in less than 24 hours whether the Blue Devils will be able to do this. We'll see if Duke and Jon Scheyer can pick up their 6th national title. We'll see if they can just get there to the national championship game first if they win on Saturday. Right now is all beautiful here. It'll be all buzzing in a few while. For Chanel Porter, I'm John Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy all the action tomorrow.